Well, hello there and welcome back to another episode of Cocktails with Ciara. My name is Ciara and I'm a whiskey-loving Irish gal who's on a cocktail voyage of discovery. If you are new here, I have zero professional bar experience other than a passion for making mixed drinks at home and showing you how I do it. So hit that subscribe button, stick around, and we both just might learn something, because if I can do it, you can do it. In today's video, we are definitely sticking with the festive cocktail theme, and I am making a very Christmassy cocktail that I have not only never made before, but I'm also pretty sure I have never tried this cocktail before. What am I making? I'm making a hot buttered rum. A hot buttered rum is something that was coming up again and again in the festive cocktail recommendations. It seems like a cocktail that is quite popular in the US at Christmas time, and it is traditionally something that a lot of viewers might drink around Christmas time. They might make it with their families. It's just one that seems to really be associated with the holiday season. Now, I have to say, a hot buttered rum is something that you will rarely find in Ireland. I certainly have never seen it. Possibly it might be something you would get in a Christmas market or in a fancy hotel, but I've certainly never seen it because it definitely would have piqued my interest. So I'm very, very eager to make it today. I'm going to be totally honest, I'm a little bit apprehensive looking at the ingredients. It seems like it could be a very heavy, sickly cocktail. However, you've never really steered me wrong before. So given that a lot of you think this will be very enjoyable, I'm gonna trust you and we're gonna make it today. So before we get into the history of a hot buttered rum and I show you how I make it at home for the first time, I would like to take a second to tell you about my Patreon. It is not only a great way of supporting my channel, but you can also have access to exclusive content. You can join in on my monthly lives with my Patreon community. We are having so much fun, and of course you can see the footage that is just too tipsy for YouTube. All right, so let's get into the history of a hot buttered rum. Now, as I mentioned, a hot buttery rum does not have any historical roots in Ireland that I know of anyway. It seems like the drink originated in the colonial days in America, in places like New England. Now, like a lot of other cocktails at the time, particularly hot cocktails, this was seen as a little bit of a medicinal concoction. It was said to be strengthening and warming, and the ingredients were supposed to be generally very good for you. Now, looking at the amount of butter that is included in this drink, I don't know if modern day dietitians and nutritionists would agree with that fact. It was definitely something that was going to be super warming, really filling, and I would imagine that drank on a really cold day or night, it would really warm the cockles. So I do agree with that. The hot buttered rum also experienced somewhat of a resurgence in popularity in the 1940s in tiki culture, which actually is quite interesting because I always associate that with beachy, cold, icy cocktails. However, it was served in a ceramic skull mug and it was called coffee grog. I think it was Trader Vic that coined that. So it had a little bit of a resurgence, but to this day, it is definitely a typically Christmassy, festive, traditional cocktail. All right, so now that I've given you a little bit of history on the hot buttered rum, let's get into the ingredients. The main ingredient for a hot buttered rum is, as you may have guessed, rum. And from what I see online, it seems like Jamaican and kind of slightly aged, full-bodied rums are preferenced. So I actually have two here that I think would work. I have the Appleton Estate Reserve Blend Jamaican rum. This is absolutely beautiful. You may remember I used this over the summertime in some of my tiki drinks. I will definitely get back to making those soon, but doesn't really seem like the season for it right now. And I also have another rum that I absolutely loved. This is the Gosling's Black Seal 80 proof black rum. Now, both of these are dark. However, I'm kind of thinking that the Appleton isn't as dark and funky, so I think that this will probably be the one that I will go with today. I think it's gonna work really well. I don't think it would be terrible if you made it with this. It just might be a bit heavier, and I feel like this is going to be a heavy drink anyway, so I'll stick with this one. Along with our Jamaican rum, we are also going to be using 2 spoons of Demerara sugar, or like brown sugar. I actually found some in the back of the cupboard. I should probably get a fresh bag, but I think this will do for today. So we are also going to be using 1 generous tablespoon of unsalted butter. Now, I have my regular butter that I use all the time here, and I'm pretty sure this is unsalted. Not to boast, but Irish butter is some of the most stunning butter you will find in the world. You might recognize the brand Kerrygold. Absolutely beautiful butter. I think that is grass-fed salted butter, so I won't be using that. What I'm using today is, I believe, unsalted butter. So I think we'll be fine. We are also going to be using a pinch of ground allspice. Now, I actually don't have ground allspice in the house. I have something that's called Chinese allspice, but I opened it and sniffed it, and I really don't think that's what we're going to be looking for today. So I actually looked it up, and apparently if you mix equal parts of ground cloves, ground nutmeg, and ground cinnamon, that's basically allspice. So, and then along with that, we're also going to be using some hot water, because this is of course a hot cocktail. And then for our glass, I'm going to use the traditional toddy glass. This is perfect for hot whiskeys, Irish coffees, any kind of hot drinks. So this is going to be great. Now that we have all the ingredients that we need, I am so eager to make this cocktail. So let's get to actually making it. So let's kick things off with our brown sugar. I'm pretty sure you just build this cocktail in the glass, which is actually pretty easy. So we're gonna go in with 2 bar spoons of my brown sugar. Again, should be the proper Demerara, but look, we'll work with what we have. That seems like quite a lot. I feel like this is gonna be such a sweet cocktail. Now it's time to add the butter. This is the part that I'm a little bit skeptical about. It says 1 tablespoon, which honestly to me seems like so much. Is that too much? I mean, that's a tablespoon. It's certainly bigger than a teaspoon. I'm just gonna go ahead and plop that in. It's like stuck on the rim. Okay, so now it's time to add our spices. And like I said, I'm just gonna do a pinch of each to hopefully combine them to make allspice. So it should be fine. So we're gonna do a pinch of cloves, a pinch of nutmeg. Feels like I'm cooking. Like, this doesn't feel like I'm making a cocktail. I feel like I'm like baking a ham or something. Oh, nutmeg, I've already done that. And now cinnamon. Oh, okay, that was a lot of cinnamon, right. Maybe I'll balance it out with more of the rest. It's famous last words. Okay, that's loads. I can smell the cloves. That's probably more than enough. All right, now it is time to add 60 mils of our beautiful Appleton Estate. God, it smells so good. I actually haven't used this in a cocktail for a couple of months now, so I'm absolutely buzzed to be using it today. We're gonna do a good hefty 60 mils in on top of everything. So I'm just gonna try and stir. I'm not gonna lie, this looks kind of gross. It's the butter. The butter is throwing me. Right now, the butter is just hanging around in chunks, which is not what we want. I'm sorry, I have to say, this looks absolutely gross. It's not blending. I think we should probably just go ahead and add the hot water, and I think that will make a difference. So let's go ahead and add the hot water, and then hopefully that is gonna make all the difference to this drink, because I feel like I'm failing miserably. Right, okay, straight away our butter is melting, which is obviously what you want. All right, that is definitely looking better. Like, it's a little bit granulated looking, and I don't think that's the sugar. I think the sugar has dissolved. I presume that that is some of the spices. I have to say, it was a very quick cocktail, so it's starting to form a little bit of a head. Is that like a buttery film? I don't know. So I'm just gonna pop in the cinnamon stick, and without analyzing it too much, I'm going to bring it over to my cocktail drinking chair, and we can try it and see what we think. It's forming a head. So I think this is the cocktail that I'm most apprehensive about trying thus far on this channel. So look, without further ado, join me on my cocktail drinking chair, and we'll see if I actually enjoy a hot buttered rum. Okay, it is a moment of truth. I am not gonna lie. I'm a bit scared to drink this. I feel like I'm not gonna like it, but I'm going to go in with an open mind as per usual and see what I think of it. Cheers. I really don't like it. Did I make it wrong? Okay, I'm gonna try again. Right, maybe I should stir it. I'm gonna use the cinnamon stick, and maybe I should get that butter all moving around. Cheers. It's like it leaves like a film on your lips and in your mouth. If you give it a good stir, it's not terrible. I think if you gave this to me without telling me exactly what was in it, I would probably enjoy it more. I think the sight of adding the butter to the cocktail has just completely thrown me. Maybe I put too much butter in it. Maybe I put too little or too much spices. Did I use the right rum? Although I do really appreciate all the suggestions that I got for this drink, I think it is just one of those cocktails that I can actually say that I don't really enjoy. So it's at this point in the video that I usually say that I like to sit back back, enjoy my cocktail and answer some questions from my lovely Patreon community. However, today I will probably just sit back and just allow the cocktail to gently warm my hands. So I have a question here from one of my lovely patrons, Jim Holmes, and Jim asks, if you were to start another YouTube channel, what would it be about? Interestingly enough, Jim, I actually answered this in my latest Patreon live, which we did last weekend. So much fun. And basically I was saying that I am going to be starting a second YouTube channel in the new year. Obviously this channel is all based around cocktails and all things alcohol, which I really enjoy. Having a second one will allow me a little bit more freedom to post whatever I want on it. Crazily enough, we are so close to 100k here on my YouTube channel, which honestly is so crazy to think. On that note, I will be announcing something really exciting when I do hit the 100k mark. So if you have not subscribed already, if you've gotten this far in the video, please do hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. There are so many more videos coming your way. And of course, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some of my other cocktail videos, I will link a playlist up here. I hope you enjoyed seeing my take on making a hot buttered rum for the first time. I'm sorry if I disappointed anyone who thought I would absolutely love it. I'm totally down for trying it again, so please do let me know in the comments how you think I can improve upon the recipe, and of course if there are any other cocktails that you would like to see me make, I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next one. Cheers!